Okay, I think we're about to start. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. My name is Rhonda Muller. I'm so excited to be here today talking to everyone about our company Lifevantage and how we use the genetic field of nutrigenomics biohacking to help you maximise your biological potential. Before we get started, I wanted to give you a little bit background on myself and my business partner Belinda Wicks. So I'll allow Belinda to introduce herself. My name is Rhonda Muller. I'm a nutritional therapist and a paediatric special needs health and development coach. I predominantly work with women and children, and my passion is mental health and paediatric special needs. I'm also an education consultant and a biohacker. So just a little about how this opportunity was presented to me. As a nutritional therapist, I was already working in the field of nutrigenomics. So when I finally went through all the research that my now business partner, Madeline Crow, who was an occupational therapist, as she presented it to me, I was really quite amazed and started to think, seriously, why didn't I look into this earlier? Because I was really quite doubting it. So I started to go through all the peer review studies. There's 26 peer review studies. Started to read through and listen to all the testimonials, and I started to do my own research and started to take some of the products myself, and I was overwhelmingly impressed. And that is why I have aligned myself with Lifevantage. It has enabled me to help so many more families and our fur babies as well. So Belinda, if you can just unmute yourself, Dal, and introduce yourself, that would be great.
Thanks, Rhonda. I too, like Rhonda, am very privileged to be here today and very excited to share this information with you. So I was actually introduced to Lifevantage and the products by Rhonda, and Rhonda's very persistent. So when I said, I don't have time to look at all this research, I'm too busy, she said, no, Belle, you really need to look at this research. So I too am a nutrient therapy practitioner. I work up here in Mackay in North Queensland, and basically I work with clients on diet, lifestyle and targeted supplementation to help them feel better and make changes to turn their health around. Most of my job is trying to put out that internal fire that's going on so we can get some real healing done. And when I looked at the research and realised that oxidative stress played a huge role in many things, I went, yep, well, it took me up, Rhonda. I need products for myself, I need products for my family, and I have about 4 or 5 clients in mind that really need this to help them get to the next level of their health. And we haven't looked back.
Oh, sorry, Belle, you're frozen. Technology, don't you love it? Oh, Belle, are you there? Okay, so I might just continue on. If everyone can just put a 1 in the chat box if you can actually hear me. Can you hear me? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Awesome. Fabulous. Okay, so we'll pick up on Belle a little bit later. Okay, so I'll just continue on. So today we are going to focus on biohacking our health. So let's get started with the presentation. I'm going to minimize myself so you can see the screen more clearly. So just bear with me. Okay. Okay, so just before we get started, just a disclaimer, Lifevantage and its affiliates do not claim to cure, heal, prevent, mitigate or diagnose any disease, and this information is purely educational purposes only. Our statements are not intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with a qualified healthcare professional and is not intended to provide medical advice. For medical advice, always seek a trained healthcare professional. Like I said, this is purely for educational purposes only. If anyone has any affiliation with the TGA or the FDA, it would be great if you could put a number 6 in the chat box so we can recognise you here today. Thank you. Okay, so what we will be discussing here this afternoon is groundbreaking science that has been around for many years, but has only just filtered down into is into Australia, and it hasn't even filtered down into mainstream medicine yet. And this information is cutting edge. Very exciting information. We think it's very, very important to focus on the 4 cornerstones to health. So cellular health, reducing that oxidative stress, mitochondrial health, increasing energy. Like we all look at children and we think, oh my goodness, if I could only have half of their energy, right? Digestive health, supporting gut health, brain health, supporting brain function. So these are some of the things that we are going to touch on today. And we specialize in biohacking health. So biohacking health, pretty much means we're taking control of our own biology. We all grew up believing that if there was a bad gene in our family, if there was a family history of illness or conditions, that there was very little that we could do about that. But honestly, that is no longer true. Today, we can determine our bad genes and take control of our own biology. And we can also determine what good genes we have and learn to optimize those. We can upregulate our good genes and downregulate our bad genes. And to me, that is why I've got into nutrigenomics. It is absolutely amazing. And by using a science called nutrigenomics, by using natural compounds such as herbs, etc., to switch on our good genes and switch on our bad genes is absolutely fantastic. It's changing so many lives. And biohacking your health means we're taking control of our own biology. We're optimizing our genetic potential, and we're becoming the best versions of ourselves. So as parents, we all just want the best for our children. And obviously for us, we're on the front line. If we break, our whole family's going to break. Nothing against the dads, but they're usually the ones that are out there earning the money. But even then, we need to make sure that they're healthy and can reach their true potential. So using nutrigenomics is the research of how nutrients and natural compounds affect our genes. Nutrigenomics has been around for quite a while. I initially started this back in 2009, studying into nutrigenomics, epigenetics, oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, decline. So what makes Lifevantage different to other supplement companies? Well, at Lifevantage, our mission is to be unique and offer natural, clean products that people cannot find anywhere else. For those who know me, I'm very holistic and natural, but very heavily science-based. And I believe Lifevantage is no different. We are the experts and leaders in this breakthrough. Sorry, if everyone can just mute themselves, that would be fantastic. My husband's just walked through the door with some flowers. Thank you, husband. I'm actually on a Zoom. Thank you. Oh, he's going to get brownie points. So we are the experts and leaders in this breakthrough science called nutrigenomics. So this means we take nutrition and positively affect or switch on our good genes and down-regulate, switch off the bad genes. So that's really good health for us. Our products are activators. They are not supplementation. They are not supplements. Instead of feeding the body an antioxidant, our bodies actually make our own. So we're going to talk about that today. We simply activate the body to do what it's meant to do, what it's naturally meant to do. And another term for this is biohacking. And this is a term that will become very common in the years to come. Fox News recently reported that nutrigenomics is changing everything. Where we once thought we were absolutely powerless, we now have some control. So the ability to use nutrition to affect our genes means we're no longer at the mercy of our DNA. So this is far beyond taking supplementation, vitamins and minerals, etc. And, eating really good food. It's unfortunately, it's just not enough anymore. Don't get me wrong, as a nutritional therapist, I know the importance of identifying what's underlying, what is lacking, replenishing and rebalancing nutrients, vitamins, etc., beneficial bacteria, eating the right foods. But activation, seriously, takes our health to a whole new level. And that is why I've aligned myself with this company, because it is changing lives. That is why I'm here today. I'm all about support and education. So with nutrigenomics, we can take certain natural compounds and we can get them into the cells and biohack the cells to turn on the body's production of protection against the environment that we're living in. And nutrigenomics market is projected to reach a valuation of over $17 billion within 4 years. And honestly, Lifevantage is positioned in as the forerunner, as the leader in this field. When I first started to study nutrient therapy, nutritional therapy, people were so skeptical. They were thinking, oh my goodness, Rhonda, seriously, what are you doing? What a load of rubbish. Seriously, it's taking everyone's health to that next level. And it's only really just starting to creep into Australia. And the way that I look at it, it's so exciting. It's almost like, you know, we're the first ones that approached Steve Jobs, you know, the guy that introduced Apple. That's what we're like here. It's brand new. So biohacking number 1, reducing oxidative stress. So most people have not heard of oxidative stress. Put a number 2 if you've heard of oxidative stress. It's pretty rare these days. Oxidative stress, in simple terms, is the rusting of our cells in our body. So, for example, if we have an apple and we cut it in half and put it on the kitchen bench, it's going to go brown. Yeah, that's oxidization. You can see it starting to age right before your eyes. And the longer you leave it there, the more it starts to change in its form. And this is oxidative stress. The same thing happens to our cells. Oxidative stress causes cell damage, and that is free radical damage. This is what causes aging and disease. So the very same thing, we need to live oxygen. You know, the first breath that we take as a newborn baby, first time we suckle from the breast, that is creating oxidative stress, causing cell damage. It's just a natural part of the aging. But unfortunately, our environment is becoming more and more toxic. So what causes oxidative stress? Well, obviously it's the oxygen and the food, and that's a natural process, but it cannot be avoided. Our environment is becoming more and more toxic. Oxidative stress is caused by the air that we breathe, the water we drink, the food that we eat, the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides in our food, genetically modified food. Every time we put fuel in the car, pardon me, the fumes that we're breathing in, it's all creating oxidative stress. Even exercise creates oxidative stress. We simply cannot avoid it. And then looking at mobile phones and microwaves and things like that. And then, you know, they're bringing in 5G. Put a number 1 if you're concerned about 5G. Like, seriously, that is something that we should all be concerned about. All of these result in oxidation, or the rusting, which causes cellular aging. Okay, it creates aging much faster than nature intended. So why is it important to reduce oxidative stress? Well, it's important because it causes a negative impact on every single part of our body, and if left unchecked, it will lead to unhealthy conditions. It's linked to over 260 conditions in the body, from the smallest thing to the most critical condition. And it is essential that we help our body to keep a healthy level of oxidative stress. And if we don't, the consequences are huge. I see that in clinic every single day. So we have 37.2 trillion cells, yeah? And we potentially have millions of free radicals in every single cell. That's around 3.7 quintillion, yeah? So one free radical, we need one antioxidant. So one antioxidant wipes out, combats one free radical, yeah? One tub of organic, non-GMO blueberries will give you 6,700 antioxidants. That's one punnet, okay? So that will wipe out 6,700 free radicals. So it's a bit like it's the one-to-one free radical, okay? It's one molecule of antioxidant from exogenous forms, food sources, antioxidants and things. It's going to wipe out one free radical molecule. So unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. We can live a healthy lifestyle. We eat lots of fruits and veggies. We can take antioxidant supplements. However, that is not nearly enough to reduce that oxidative stress. Like I was saying, one tub of blueberries has 6,500 antioxidants. Our body has millions of free radicals at any one time. It would be like throwing a glass of water on the house fire and thinking you're going to put it out. It's just not going to work. Scientists have, however, discovered a pathway in our body called NRF2, And this pathway is responsible for producing antioxidants in the body. At the age of around 22 to 25, our natural antioxidants, that NRF2 pathway, automatically just starts to shut down. That's the natural aging process. But when our environment is becoming so toxic, it actually starts switching off much earlier, to the point where we're seeing it major significant changes within children and pediatric special needs. And I'm not claiming anything here. I'm not claiming we're curing or reversing or mitigating any disease. It's just a fact. Research it. Lifevantage have discovered that this pathway, the NRF2 pathway, can be switched back on by taking just one tablet a day, which then produces 1 million antioxidants. That's like having the fire brigade come in, sprinklers in every single room of the house, and it puts out that fire within minutes. So that product is called Protandim NRF2. So what does Protandim do? Well, the clinical studies done in America have proved that Protandim reduces oxidative stress in all mammals, so every body on the planet, by 40% in just 30 days. Oxidative stress is the #1 cause of aging. Aging is disease, which makes oxidative stress the #1 cause for ill health. So while we make no claims, like I was saying, to prevent, cure, heal, mitigate, or cure any diseases, we know that by reducing oxidative stress by 40% in just 1 month, in just 30 days, is absolutely powerful. And you'll see why thousands of our customers have had life-changing results. Protandim is a combination of 5 herbs formulated synergistically to make it 1,800 times more effective than if you took the ingredients by themselves. Okay, so the ingredients are ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, milk thistle, and turmeric. Bacopa is a super brain food. It helps with memory and learning. Ashwagandha helps to balance the adrenals and the moods. It's regarded as a brain calmer. Green tea is a potent antioxidant, and milk thistle is fantastic for cleansing the liver, and it's a detoxifier. And I think most of us know turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory. Protandim is also it's all natural, it's gluten-free, dairy-free. It is the new generation of healthcare. It's not a supplement. We take supplements when we're lacking something, like we don't have enough iron or magnesium or vitamins, etc. NRF2 is an actual activator, which means it's like switching back on those pathways, those the light switches, pretty much. So that way we actually start to create our own antioxidants. So in simple terms, it means that you won't need, and obviously we still need good whole foods, but we won't be expecting blueberries and things to wipe out the free radical damage. We will be able to make our own antioxidants, like nature intended. 1 tablet a day equals millions of antioxidants produced by the body, which fights the free radical damage. So these ingredients are represented on the graph, and as you can see, individual ingredients do very little to activate that NRF2 pathway, but the 5 ingredients together in the patented synergy that makes Protandim, it's 18 times more effective than the sum of the ingredients. So in other words, buying all the raw ingredients and drinking them together, etc., will not give you the same effect as Protandim. And Dr. Joe McCord, who was the one that actually discovered superoxide dismutase, which is an endogenous and internal antioxidant, and also discovered the formula for Protandim, it took him 2,500 attempts, different combinations, until he found this one formula that actually works. Okay, so we're going to talk about the actual antioxidants that we have within us. Like I was saying, we don't take antioxidants. We still eat whole foods. We want our bodies to work as nature intended. We make our own antioxidants. So this slide here, you can see that these are all the foods, etc., that we take in. So the exogenous antioxidants, the external, the secondary dietary antioxidants. So you're going to get that from foods and minerals and proteins and vitamins and things like that. But what we're talking about is these are our internal, our endogenous antioxidants that every single body has themselves. Okay, these are the ones that actually start to switch off and the natural aging process in our 20s. But what happens is that when you take Protandim, it actually kicks all that back in. It is absolutely amazing. Protandim increases superoxide dismutase, SOD, by 30%, increases catalase by 54%, and increases glutathione by 300%. Now, glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants. This is absolutely amazing. Just one molecule of SOD combats 1 million free radical molecules. That is absolutely huge. So this is what we're talking about. Still keep eating all your whole foods, but when you're taking that one tablet a day, oh my goodness, it's going to take your health to the next level. Okay, so when Madeline Crowe brought it to me, occupational therapist, I was thinking, oh my goodness, this sounds too good to be true. Yeah. And I was thinking, is this really credible? And then she was saying, just look at the research, Rhonda. Independent institutions, universities and associations are doing their own research. Lifevantage have not funded them to do this. They've done it on their own back. As you can see, here's a list of some of the institutions and organisations that have tested Protandim by themselves. And as you can see, there are well-respected names on this list. And you'll notice the Heart Association of America in the middle, so over here. They've published their own studies in the Cardiologist Journal recommending Protandim. Yep, they are prescribing it to their patients. Biogen, which is a biotech company, they've done their own research against their own drugs, synthetic drugs, against Protandim. And guess what? They found out that Protandim is actually twice as effective. And theirs is like 4,500 a month. Ours is only 59 a month. So huge consideration to be taken there. I have been to many lectures in the past 5 years, and there has been a lot of talk about another natural activator, and guess what? Protandim is 7 times more effective. Seriously, when I saw the peer review studies, and then I saw that study showing that Protandim is 7 times more effective than what they're recommending for the conditions that I work with, I was absolutely gobsmacked. That's what got me over the line, seriously. Because, I'm very holistic, I'm very natural, but I'm very heavily science-based. And that there shows PubMed. So PubMed is where we get all of our research, all of our literature from, and we go and do our research. And as you can see, PubMed, you put in Protandim, it's now actually, there's 26 studies, yes? There's 13 patents on Protandim in the ingredients in various countries, including Australia and China. Protandim is also approved by the Banned Substance Control Group, meaning that it's perfectly safe for athletes, even Olympians. NSF approved as well, which is the National Sanitization Foundation, which ensures pure quality, no heavy metals, pesticides, etc. And it's also approved by the TGA. Now, you can go in also and research oxidative stress, and you'll see that there's hundreds and thousands of published papers showing oxidative stress in the conditions that it's linked to. Okay, Belinda, have we got you back now, Dal?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I hope my internet, I'm not sure what's going on today.
That's okay. All good. All good.
Making my technologically challenged self work a bit harder.
That's okay. So I'm going to hand you over to Belinda, and she's going to talk about the mitochondria.
Thanks, Rhonda. So the mitochondria are these little powerhouses inside our cells, and they're responsible for producing all our energy. Now, the scientists in Lifevantage believe that it's the second most important component to having good health, because if our mitochondria are healthy, the cells in our body are healthy, and therefore, if our cells are healthy, our whole body will be healthy. We've looked at, or lots of researchers have looked at several conditions and have found that damaged and diseased cells actually have radically decreased numbers of mitochondria, and their mitochondria function less optimally. If you optimize your mitochondrial function, you will be healthier for longer. Mitochondria is in every single one of our cells in our body, except our red blood cells. So we have 37 trillion cells in our body. Our ovaries contain over 100,000 mitochondria. Can you imagine per cell? So you imagine the amount of cells that make up an ovary. There's 100,000 of them in there. They're working really hard for us women, to keep us on track with our hormones. Our eyes and our brain and our heart have 10,000 mitochondria per cell. If those mitochondria in those cells aren't functioning as optimally, then our eyes and our brain and our heart don't function as optimally. Mitochondria are actually very special because they have their own DNA. So not only do we have the DNA that are in our cells, but we also have the DNA inside our mitochondria, and they're able to replicate themselves. So when our mitochondrial DNA is damaged, what's happening is the mitochondrial DNA that gets replicated is the damaged version. So it's like taking a photocopy of a photocopy. And at one stage, one of those photocopies gets a little bit blurred. And by the time you get to the 10,000th photocopy, that image is really not noticed. You don't know what that image was when you first started. That's exactly what's happening inside our cells. So if we have damaged mitochondria, that is to the detriment of our cells. Free radicals act like little mini cyclones inside our cells, and that impacts our metabolism and our energy production. Mitochondria are damaged over time, which leads to health concerns. Protandim NRF1 is Lifevantage's product. It activates the NRF1 pathway. So much like scientists found the NRF2 pathway, they've now found the NRF1 pathway, and that NRF1 pathway is directly linked to our mitochondria. If we boost that pathway, if we turn that pathway back on, it improves our energy production and it boosts mitochondrial production. It increases our cellular energy. It improves our sleep, our cognitive and brain health, and it supports healthy circulation and heart function, and it works on helping our cells to repair themselves. So if 95% of our energy is produced by the mitochondria inside our cells and you're lacking in energy, helping your mitochondria to work better will help you to have more energy. Protandim NRF1 was launched late last year in September, and it works very well in conjunction with our NRF2 product. So I like to tell my clients that NRF2 is like switching on the cleaning fairy, and the cleaning fairy up to the age of 22 has been coming quite regularly. Up to the age of 22 and onwards, our cleaning fairy is not coming anymore, and the junk inside our house is building up, and we're still living life and cooking in the kitchen and no one's taking out the rubbish. So we need to turn the NRF2 pathway on to take the rubbish out. But what happens is the house is left damaged and we're still cooking away, but we're just tired. So we're like the mitochondria, and by switching on the NRF1 pathway, we can cook for armies, which means we can cook lots of food, make lots of energy, and live happier, healthier lives. So lots of things damage our mitochondria, and it's like if you bought that nice new Ferrari, but then in 50 years' time, if you did nothing to service that vehicle and nothing to maintain it, it would look like that rusty old car down the bottom. Our mitochondria are much the same. So what causes our mitochondrial function to decline? Many things cause our mitochondrial function to decline. Viruses, parasites, heavy metals, medications that we take, severe oxidative stress. So if we have poor diet, an unhealthy microbiome, if we've got lots of chemicals and pesticides and herbicides in our diet, if we've got poor blood sugar regulation, that contributes to oxidative stress and contributes to mitochondrial dysfunction. And if we have any forms of chronic physiological or emotional stress, that also contributes to mitochondrial dysfunction. What does that mean for the field of nutrigenomics? So that means that we want to get our body to work optimally. We need to get our mitochondria working optimally as well. So things that support our mitochondrial function are things like resveratrol, CoQ10, alpha-lipoic acid, L-carnitine, quercetin, and all the things that you can see there on that list. I don't need to go through them all. Things that damage our mitochondria, like I mentioned, were alcohol. We all like to go and have a bit of a party in our 20s. We don't really bounce back so well in our 40s from that. So improve our mitochondrial function means I can have a drink occasionally now and I don't feel so ill the next day. Things like acetaminophen, which is paracetamol, actually really damage our mitochondria. And one of the biggest effects that they have on our body is that they knock out our glutathione. So right from an early age, we're told to give our children Panadol for every ailment. We're knocking out our kids' glutathione really, really early on. And our body's ability to make that gets harder and harder as we age because that pathway, the NRF2 pathway, is being shut off. So if we can boost our glutathione, we're leaps and bounds in front of everybody else. The NRF1 synergizer improves performance through energy production. It enhances our cellular health and helps our functions to function at peak performance. It boosts our mitochondrial production And it also enhances their ability to network. So if our mitochondria can talk to each other, it means our cells have greater cell-to-cell communication. And if our cells are communicating better, then the rest of our body is communicating better, which means we have greater overall improved optimized function. The increase in energy that we get from boosting our mitochondrial function is second to none. The ingredients in our NRF1 activator, alpha-lipoic acid, helps our body to turn alpha-lipoic acid helps our body to turn glucose into the energy so we can use it inside our cells to make ATP. It also helps to neutralize our free radicals. Coenzyme Q10 resides in our mitochondria, and it plays a key role in producing energy. Grapeseed extract has wonderful anti-aging capabilities, and it helps to activate the NRF1 pathway and other anti-aging pathways. Quercetin is a naturally occurring antioxidant, and it also activates the NRF1 pathway and helps mitochondria to improve their function. Acetyl-L-carnitine is an amino acid, and it actually helps to enhance our mitochondrial DNA. It helps to repair that DNA. It helps to improve the stability of it and helps our mitochondria to be able to build more mitochondrial proteins to repair themselves and ultimately to be able to repair the cell. Our NRF1 repairs and replenishes our mitochondria, and enhances our energy levels, and it works at a cellular level in every cell of our body. So if you can turn on the NRF1 pathway in every single cell, all 37 trillion of them in your body, you'll be combating free radicals like there's no tomorrow and feeling the improvements in your health. Our product is also 100% vegetarian, and it's free of gluten, wheat, dairy, and yeast, which is very important for my clients who have food sensitivities and allergies. I'm going to hand it back to you, Rhonda, for the 1-2 punch. Sorry, Rhonda, can you start again, please? I just can't hear you.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. That might help.
That's okay.
Thank you. So, yeah, like I was mentioning, NRF2, predominantly the main focus is reducing the oxidative stress. NRF1 gives us more energy. And there are synthetic products out there with NRF2, but they cost an absolute bomb. The dual synergizer is only $119 per month, and that works out far more effective. So the NRF1, the way I also explain it to clients is that it opens up, the NRF1 creates an opening in the mitochondria to allow the NRF2 to enter the mitochondria and clean it out, so the mitochondria can repair and regenerate healthy cells. Parents report back to me, they're likening the NRF1 to a particular mainstream medication that I won't mention here today, but it's specifically designed to help individuals with attention, focus, and concentration problems with no negative side effects. And this is all 100% natural. Personally, I love the dual synergizer. My energy, focus, concentration has returned, and I think even Belinda would vouch for this as well. But you know, it's almost like my energy is back to when I was in my 20s. When I introduce this to my clients, the feedback I'm getting is absolutely amazing. It works alongside other supplements and dietary theories, recommendations, to the point where they're absorbing even more. The supplements are far more effective. For example, I haven't gone into my personal story as to why I went into the field of nutritional therapy, but it took me absolutely years to reduce my son's oxidative stress. That's the whole reason why I got into this field. And it cost us so much money. We had to put another mortgage on the home. If I'd known about this 10 years ago, oh my goodness, it would have fast-tracked everything so much better. It would have been a win-win, not only for my son, my whole family, and my own health. It would have been absolutely amazing. So, you know, don't get me wrong, it's still amazing now, but it would have been nice to have this information 10 years ago. Okay, so the next thing we talk about is gut health. So I think most of us are fully aware in regards to the importance of our gut. It is the gut-brain connection. And we've all heard, well, probably most of us have heard Hippocrates say all disease begins in the gut, and I believe that. And the old saying is, you are what you eat. I say you are what you absorb. And most of us are not absorbing properly. So we really need to focus on gut health. So all health begins in the gut. That gut-brain connection, the gut is the second brain. So when we have a happy gut, we're going to have a happy brain. Serotonin, a happy hormone, is actually made in the gut. So if we can get the bacterial levels right, it's going to actually help everything balance out our moods and emotions, etc. So this shows the anatomy of the human gut. So each section of the gut, starting with the stomach, has a different physiological role with breaking down the food. So stomach is very acidic with a pH of 1 to 2. And as you travel down the intestine tract, the pH eventually rises to about 7. And there are various accumulations of bacteria that thrive in the different levels depending on the pH and the oxygen. And as the environment becomes more alkaline, bacterial counts increase. In the upper GI tract, the gastrointestinal tract, we find more aerobic, oxygen-loving bacteria. And in the lower GI tract, we find mostly anaerobic, the ones that there's no oxygen. So obviously exercise, diet, antibiotics, even the pill, will affect the number of bacteria. So Lifevantage have brought out a brand new probiotic, and I absolutely love it. The probiotics are a major pillar in rebuilding our health, alongside diet and supplementation and reducing that oxidative stress. And it also impacts on our mitochondria as well. So it's really important that we have healthy ratios of the right bacteria so our body can extract the nutrients from our diet. Like I was saying, you are what you eat, but I also say you are what you absorb. And most people are not absorbing as nature intended. So the vegan capsule has DR caps. So pretty much what that means is that it withstands the stomach acid. And it takes 52 minutes to start to dissolve, whereas most probiotics only take 7 minutes to dissolve in the stomach, which means the Lifevantage ProBio is going to be far more effective because it's going to get to the small intestine and the large intestine to where it needs to be. The cool bottle also actually helps it to actually stay cool and reduce the humidity. So the strains of bacteria are the lactobacillus, and I ask you to go to PubMed and do a lot of research on these strains. Absolutely fantastic. I love them. There's, I'm not going to go into it all today, but yeah, the colony isn't a huge amounts because we don't need a lot of amounts in there. Because we're going to get the levels that are actually getting to the small intestine and the large intestine, whereas most mainstream ones that you get from Woolworths or the pharmacy don't have that slow release. So this is all approved by the TGA. It enhances and promotes healthy digestion, maintains support and healthy digestion, assimilation of nutrients, healthy digestive system flora, and helps to promote and increase the good bacteria. So this is what I was talking about before, like the slow release probiotics. So probiotics that survive and actually get to where they need to be, whereas without the slow release, we're lucky if we get 4% that actually get into where it needs to be. Okay, so biohacking, our number 5 is healthy protected skin. So Belle, I'll hand over to you now.
Thank you, Rhonda. So while I love talking about the science and stuff, I actually like talking about the skincare and the beauty products because we can see what's going on the outside. So we're very lucky that the scientists at Lifevantage went to work for us again and came up with the very first ever NRF2 activated skincare system. So the University of Louisiana studied Protandim on all skin conditions and found it had a huge impact. They approached Lifevantage and said, we're having all this great success crushing up your tablet and putting it on skin conditions. We really think you need to come up with a skincare range. So Lifevantage went to work and developed the very first ever NRF2 activated skincare range. So most skincare, I think one of the reasons why I love Lifevantage is they're a very holistic company, and while they're trying to remove the junk from our body, they then really understand that there's no point removing the junk from our body if we're only going to put toxic things onto our skin and back into our body. So one of the things that I talk to my clients about in clinic is reducing the toxic load, and using skincare products and hair care products is huge because we use them nearly every day. Most skincare ranges are filled with silicone, which gives you a smooth feel, but you wash it off and your skin's back to normal. The True Science skincare system is clinically proven to work down deep in all the layers of the skin and helps to repair the damage. It's got no nasties in it, so there's no sulfates, no parabens, no formaldehyde, no GMOs, no petroleum or mineral oils, and no artificial colours. As you can see from the photos here, it's helped to reduce the fine lines in these ladies. And I like the lady here where she's got the 0 days and 60 days, because we actually get a time frame and you can see the reduction in fine lines that she experienced. It also counterbalances the visible effects of sun-related damage. It's a 4-part system. So I wonder if you can flick back. Thank you. It's a 4-part system. We have a facial cleanser, which works also as a mild exfoliant, and it keeps the pH of the skin balanced. The perfecting lotion is a toner and serum all in one. The eye serum helps to reduce those fine lines, and the moisturizer is beautiful for day and night use, and that helps to moisturize our skin. It smells beautiful, and it actually produces amazing results. So you can forward that on now, Rhonda. This is actually my niece, and she has a condition, and we couldn't work out what else was contributing to the symptoms of that condition for her. And so she was on a fairly strict diet, and she was also unable to walk around on the grass and play with her friends because her feet used to get cracked and the grass used to cut her feet. My sister used to have to soak her feet after school in a bucket of warm water to peel her school socks off so that she didn't, because they were caked on with blood and gunk and dead skin. This has been going on for over a year, and we're a little bit at our wit's end. So got my sister to start using the hand cream topically, and also my niece started taking the NRF2 activator only, and this is the results within 4 weeks. So on the left you can see the feet are very, very cut up and the skin is not in a great condition. On the right, after 4 weeks, that's how far she'd come, and that was the best her feet had looked in over a year. So the results externally are absolutely phenomenal. The next slide, this lady had a skin condition on her face. Now, I don't know about you, but when everybody looks at you, they're looking at your face, and I can only imagine how she felt having to go out in public and have people stare at her like that. So to me, this is giving people back the quality of their life, and the fact that we can change people's lives in such an amazing way really warms my heart. The lady on the left had terrible skin condition on her hands, and taking the activators and using the hand cream, she's actually been able to reduce that, and the fire inside her hands, I guess, has been reduced. The lady on the right here, you can definitely see that she has a reduction in the fine lines around her mouth, and she has definitely younger looking skin. I love talking about the hair care because I was actually losing my hair rapidly. I thought I was not going to have much to put up in my hair bun. The hair care system was launched here in Australia a few months ago. It was launched last October in the United States, and actually won the Silver Award for Best New Product with the Stevie Awards this year, which was absolutely fantastic. Very, very good to see us up there winning awards with such a new product. So the hair care system is designed for biohackers because it's scientifically engineered with NRF2 ingredients, and it applies the most recent advances in science. So there's a super clean formula, and it's easy to use on the hair, and it's also very safe for our environment. We have a shampoo, a conditioner, and the scalp serum. So I love talking about the scalp serum because it's really the hero of the hair care system, and it contains 3 ingredients. So Appy Scalp helps to maintain a healthy scalp flora. So we have bacteria all over us, outside and inside. For every one of our cells, we have 10 microbes. So we're more microbe than we are human cells. So we need to keep those guys happy. And the condition of our scalp is very important for the condition of our hair. So maintaining that healthy scalp flora is very important. Hair Gel is rich in peptides, and it supports normal hair growth. Lanitalis helps to protect and repair our hair. And it helps to protect our hair from the environmental assaults and all the products that we put on our hair to make them curly or straight, or all the hairspray you put in your daughter's hair for dancing events. It drives me nuts. So there was an 8-day study performed on the very first NRF2 hair care system in history, and 50 women participated in this study. And on day 8 compared to day 1, there was improvement in hair breakage, hair density, the volume of your hair. There was a reduction in scalp dryness. There was an improvement in the appearance of hair, and there was a reduction in frizz, which we all love. There was an improvement in hair shine, and there was also an increase in hair body. So the formulas are clinically proven to repair your split ends. It's safe for all hair, including colour and chemical treated hair. It helps to stimulate hair growth. It's environmentally safe. It reduces our hair frizz. It improves shine. We have thicker, fuller hair, and it helps with dry and oily scalps to maintain, as I mentioned, that scalp microflora. So we have that great environment for our hair to look lovely. So not only is it for us women, but the gentlemen are actually having fantastic results as well. So you can see the gentleman on the left here, before he was a bit patchy on top, and just after 1 week of use, you can see that the hair's really, the scalp conditions improved, and the hair's really thickened up and covered up some of those spots he was having. And you can see the same for the guy on the right-hand side. You can definitely tell that the shampoo and conditioner have supported that hair growth. I love looking at this guy because you can definitely see that hair growth has been supported. And this guy here on the right, you can definitely see here from the October up to January 4th. So that's only 3 months worth of use. And really, he's got a full head of hair. I bet he thought he'd never see that again in his life. It just amazes me. People are just having such astounding results.
Me too. I'm just amazed with it too. It's fantastic.
Yeah, because I love looking at this lady here on the left with the glasses, because that was me. I had no hair in here, and now my hairdresser can't believe the hair that I've got. She's like, "You've never had hair there." I'm like, "I know. It's so exciting." This lady here on the right had a really bad scalp condition, and I can only imagine being a young lady and having a scalp condition like that and how that impacts your life. So before, you can see that the condition of her scalp wasn't that great, and you can see that after using just the shampoo and conditioner and the scalp serum, after 2 weeks, it's really changed the microflora on her scalp and improved the condition, and the hair is just absolutely amazing. And then after 2 months, who would have thought? And that lady has got her quality of life back. And I just feel like if we can give people that empowerment to take their lives back, man, we're on the right track.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Thank you, Belinda.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Okay, so Lifevantage. So where Lifevantage started. So they started off as a little biotech company founded as Lifeline Therapeutics, and they started to sell products in 2003. So pretty much selling it over the counter, and the annual revenue was around 3 million. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but in that kind of industry, it's not. Most mainstream doctors, health professionals still do not know what oxidative stress is. And unfortunately, people weren't walking into the shops and saying, "Oh, do you have anything for oxidative stress?" because they just didn't know what it was. So they weren't selling it. In 2005, they had a TV show called ABC Primetime over in America, which is very similar to A Current Affair here in Australia. And they sent a reporter, excuse me, that's my rooster in the background. Actually, it's my son and my husband's rooster. But they sent in a reporter and into the company, and pretty much to debunk the claims that Protandim and the company were saying in regards to reduces oxidative stress within by 40% in 1 month. And so they went in to debunk it, and they heard all these amazing stories, and obviously this had to be investigated. So the reporter took 1 tablet in front of the camera for a month, and what they found sent shockwaves through the health industry, because They were, and remember, the studies prove 40% in 1 month. It was reduced. Oxidative stress is reduced by 40% in just 1 month. They actually found that it was reduced by 45% in just 2 weeks. And after 4 weeks, it was reduced by 70%. The company got so much interest, it actually started talks with the National Institute of Aging, where they did a 10-year study. They were getting absolutely hammered with millions of orders pretty much overnight. But because they were just a small biotech company, they could not fulfill these orders. They were, did not have the infrastructure. So then they started to work out, okay, well, how can we do this? Yeah. So they decided to get a business analysis in, and they decided to move into the direct selling space in 2009. So they switched from retail to the direct sale model. And this was absolutely huge for them. The sales went from 3 million a year to over 200 million a year. And it is actually publicly traded on NASDAQ, so stock exchange, etc. Okay, and I have to say, when I found out that it was actually direct selling, I was like, oh my goodness, seriously, why? But then when I saw the research and I understand how it all works, I do not have any concerns whatsoever. That's why I've aligned myself with this company. It's the only way that you can get the products. So it's all on the stock exchange. It's absolutely going great guns. BlackRock, I'm not sure if anyone's heard of BlackRock, but one of the biggest investment companies out there, when these big guys start to come in and put millions of dollars and having all these shares, that it's something to look into. And one of the biggest investment opportunities of the next decade was mentioned by Bank of America analysis, would be anything to do with delaying human death and longevity, increasing longevity, because they're expecting it to be a $600 billion market in just 6 years. It is absolutely huge. Also, Erin Brockovich. So we're not talking Julia Roberts here. We're talking about the real Erin Brockovich. She has joined the Lifevantage board of directors. So she's the first female in the board of directors, and she actually was saying just recently that it's been a company that she has been watching from arm's length for quite a while, and saying massive strong momentum, not just in America, because we are global. We're in 21 different countries now. Today we're all wanting the best of the best, and we're wanting to manage our health, and have never been so vital. So she's a strong advocate, as we all know, for awareness and the truth and education, and she's more than happy to align herself with this company as well. So 2008, Lifevantage was in China and 7 new countries. 2009, we're in 6 more countries, like I said, 21 countries, and highest sales to date. Lifevantage is celebrating their 10th year in the direct selling space. And the science is definitely backing up that this company is going to continue to move forward at a rapid rate. I don't have any doubts whatsoever. They are following trends. So Airbnb, most of us have probably used Airbnb or Uber. Lifevantage is really no different. Most people are more than happy to get on their iPhones or their iPad and go shopping online. That is very similar to what we're doing. Like I was saying, you could hear the rooster in the background. Yes, I'm in my office, but I work from home. And most people, if they can work from home, they would be really happy to do that, because you become your own boss. And that's what more and more people are wanting to do. It's making your own business so simple. So, there's no lump sum investments or anything like that. It's saying like being an Uber driver, Airbnb and things like that. It's with things that you already have. So that's potential. This trend of building your own business is linking a person to what it is that they need. It puts the power of earning income back to us. And as a company, we looked at how we could help you use this trend and benefit people by sharing our products. So in doing this, we pretty much cut out the middle guy and reduces costs. Okay, so our system, like I said, follows the Uber system. Our website is very simple to use. It looks like any other online shop. It's very simple to select products, and customers get a 25% discount when they opt in for monthly orders. So where are we now? So it's a bit like when you buy a property, we all know the old saying is location, location, location. Very similar with business, but the one thing is timing, timing, timing. All businesses have a natural cycle for growth. All businesses hit a stage where that business really grows, like huge momentum. And the business owners who work hard and build their business before the momentum hits will have the business grow 20 times faster than any other business who misses that momentum. And at Lifevantage, we have not yet hit that momentum. The signs are there that it's definitely coming, but we have not even reached 1% in Australia. Where we're at the moment, this is America, this is Australia. Like seriously, if you're looking to get into a business where it's going to create generations of wealth and you're able to biohack your family's future, then this is it. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, said the secret of success is in a business is detecting where the world is going to go and then getting there first. And this is pretty much where we're at. We're getting there first. It is absolutely amazing. So if you want to become a serious success in business, if you want to walk or jog or run, this is the time to get in, okay? We're the innovators. It's the early adopters phase. And when it hits momentum up here, which isn't too far away, you're in for one heck of a ride. Because we only have, at the moment, 2,500 distributors in Australia. That is nothing. It's, you know, it's not even 1%. So how do we get started? So we're starting as a customer. So it's pretty much you may join as a customer or a business partner. As a customer, there's no fees to join. Monthly orders are totally your choice. There's no contracts, nothing like that. It's just a matter of getting back to the person who invited you here or who invited you to the Activate My Life Facebook group, and they'll be able to help you place your first order. If you're wanting to actually become a business partner, there are ways that we can do that, ways that we can fast track. So there's different packs that you can come in on, okay? So for example, you've got the gold pack, which pretty much is a value of $11.73, but you get free product of $348. That's pretty amazing. Sorry, I'll go back. I've jumped a slide. And what you get in that gold pack is 4 NRF1s, 8 NRF2s, plus the skincare range. Otherwise, you can come in on the platinum pack, and this is where you know pretty much is the going rate for me, because I can sniff out a bargain a mile away. You get $800 worth of free product. So the investment is $1,650. When I first started my clinic in Mackay, because that's how Belinda and I first met, we didn't get much change out of $50,000. When you're first starting a business, you have all of this that you have to do yourself. Okay, you've got all the production, the setting up, the shipping, customer service, all this is at your cost. This is $1,650. And what you get with that $1,650, and there's 2 different platinum packs, just like there's 2 different gold packs. You can decide 13 bottles of the NRF1 and NRF2, plus the 2 skincare ranges is just one way to go. So starting a small business, like I said, can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Starting here is only $1,650. Okay, so how far can you take this? Well, that's totally up to you. This is our income disclosure statement, which is published annually because Lifevantage is a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. You can earn $500 a month, or you can earn up to $100,000 a month. It really just depends on where you want to go. And if you come in early, it's like the timing. It is a ground floor opportunity right now. We will have more than 10 people in at Pro 10 ranks. So as you can see, these ones here, Pro 5, I'm currently a Pro 5, Belle's a Pro 4. We have currently 2 Pro 8s and 1 Pro 7. And a whole host of the other levels. So it really just depends on the level of effort that you want to bring. And we will show you how to build this. We will show you how to do it. Okay? It is super simple because all the steps Everything's been set up. All right. It's just a matter of you putting in the effort, and we're here to support you every step of the way. So 4 key components. So successful business owners will tell you that you have to have a successful business. You need to have the following 4 components. So 1 is timing. We're in the right time because our company is at that innovative stage. Yeah. So we're expanding. Shares have tripled in the last 90 days. We are unknown worldwide. You know, tick. We've hit that one. 2, product. It's a proven product. We are the leaders in the cutting edge of science, biohacking our bodies. We have 26 peer-reviewed published studies. The products could not be more unique and affordable. That's another tick. The compensation plan. We have a published income disclosure statement, and we're on NASDAQ listed, and you know we get monthly pay. And at the end of this year, it's going to go to daily pay. It is absolutely amazing. More than 48 cents per revenue dollar. So, yep, tick. Mentorship. Now, this was huge for me, absolutely huge, because this group of leaders here in Australia is absolutely amazing. They all come from the heart. They're not doing this just to make money. They are doing this because they want to help. And that's my motto, is ongoing education and support. And what I've gained in regards to mentorship and training has been absolutely amazing. Like, I would not have done Zoom before this because I just did not know how. I am not tech savvy, okay, yet. I'm getting there. But seriously, you are coached and taught step by step on how to build your business. This is like you're investing into a franchise. Everything is set up for you. It is so simple. You just have to follow the steps. There is ongoing education every step of the way. So the mentorship is top notch. So the 4 components are in place. Massive success. It's just pretty much up to you. Okay, so that's pretty much us. It has been an absolute privilege to share this information with you all. Belle, would you like to share anything, Dull, as to why you've aligned yourself with the company or anything? Would you like to share anything else?
Yeah, thanks, Rhonda. I guess I look at a lot of different supplements, and clients bring in supplements to me all the time to review, and there's a lot of stuff out there on the market that's great, and there's a lot of stuff out there on the market that's really not so great. And when I look at all of that, and if I'm selling, because I sell products in clinic as well, from multiple different companies, and if I'm looking at, giving clients supplements, then I want them to be really good quality, and I want them to have the backing and the scientific knowledge that's there. And I can tell you that the activators are the only products that I have on my shelf that have all that scientific knowledge. There's so much information that says B6 is great and CoQ10 is great, and while there's multiple different sources out there of those nutrients, you want to find really good ones. And with Lifevantage, they've done that, and they've done all the hard work for me, which is really, really great. One thing I like to be to have is good integrity. And I felt like with this company that their integrity was so high, I felt easy aligning myself with them. And then a few months ago when Erin Brockovich came on, I thought, yes, I've made such a good decision. Because I think of her as someone who has such high integrity, and to have aligned myself with a company that she thinks does have great integrity, that really meant a lot to me. And I really feel like that passes down onto my clients as well. And I guess ultimately all I want to do is help people, and this gives me the opportunity to help more people and for it to have an impact on their lives. So yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I feel exactly the same. And the other thing that I absolutely love about it is that you don't need to be a health professional. You don't need any prior experience or any kind of training. If you have the passion to help people, if you are a health advocate and you just want the best for you and your family and your community, then that's all you need. That's all you really need, isn't it?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you so much.